Hi everybody. Thank you so much for the overwhelming response you have given in basically just one day of the promo being put up for this video blog. I'm really grateful for all of you all for giving such a positive response. I've had the fortune today to speak to two young ophthals who are just starting out, and one of them has just started out. I wish them all the best in life. I really hope whatever I've been able to tell them helps them in some way or the other, and I can see this thing moving ahead and we doing a good job out of this. So the idea of this today is not we are going to start the typical question and answer session that we had decided on one topic, but one topic I would like to start saying what I feel about two things. First is bedside manners and the God phenomena. I'll explain what the God phenomena is according to me after some time. Essentially, bedside manners is something which is not taught to us in medical colleges, or at least wasn't taught to us when we were studying or when we were students. I don't know if there is a curriculum, part of the curriculum which has come in now. It would be wonderful. We learn our techniques, we learn how to be doctors, how to be good surgeons, how to be good physicians, but the main thing is how do we communicate with the patient. The main aspect of practice, according to me, is communicating with our patients. So learning good bedside manners is extremely important, that each and every doctor has to understand, and that will help you all most in your careers. And what I mean by bedside manners is how to talk to a patient. That is very important. I have seen in lot of doctors that they go very technical with the patients. They will try and explain the situation from the doctor point of view. A patient doesn't understand. Yes, there is Google nowadays, there are other avenues, but a patient doesn't understand. So we have to talk to them in a very simplified manner to explain things to them as to how does this thing work? What is your problem? Try and tell them what their problem is, understand their problem, and more than anything else, listen to your patients. It's very important to listen to your patients, what they have to say. They have come to you with a problem, so we need to understand what their problem is. In our minds, it may be very simple. Oh, he's come just for a headache. For the patient, it is something else. It could be something else too. So for us to take out those 5 extra minutes and to listen to the patient's complaint and address this is far more important than anything else. And also, as I said, to explain the disease or the disorder a little bit in their language. Once we go to specific topics, I would like to tell you all what types of things you can give in comparison. But important thing is listening to them and learning how to talk to your patients. Your entire practice depends upon how you can communicate with your patients and how to talk to them and how to make them understand what their problem is and how the outcome is going to be, or how you are going to treat them. The second thing what I would like to say is what I find, and this I've been finding for a long time, is the God's phenomena, which I call, and I tell a lot of my junior doctors about it. You're a doctor, you're not God. Patient sees God in you, it's a different thing, but don't feel you're God. Don't look down upon your patients, it's wrong. They are human beings like you and me, so don't have a superiority complex about, oh, I know everything, I'm somebody, why is he asking me questions? He has to follow my directives. No, my friends, it does not work like that in practice. You have to treat the patient as if the patient is God and you are not God. I have said this to many of my doctors I know, and listening to this thing, he will understand who he is. He's a very close person, close to my heart. He's one of the nicest persons I've met. He's always smiling, always nice. But initially, the minute he would see a patient, he would go into, I am the doctor phenomena. He would change. And the way he spoke to the patient, the feedback from the patient was not good. He has changed tremendously over the years and is a very successful ophthalmic surgeon. I am so happy that he understood and took what I was trying to tell him in a positive way and changed it around, and I'm so happy to see the success that he has achieved. And there is a small note which I had put up some time back on Facebook also. With your permission, I'd like to read it out to you all as to what my approach is towards all the patients who come to us. So please bear with me. Okay, thank you. This was something I posted in April of 2019 on Facebook about a doctor, and said that these are the patients. Who are these strangers that keep coming to you daily, monthly, year after year? They make up a part of, they make you a part of their lives. Take a part of your handwriting with them home, a prescription, a note of cure, a note of hope for them. You are the privileged one. You are the chosen one to cure them, to serve them, and give them happiness. The happiness is the gift of life, limb, organ, the gift of sight where we ophthalms are concerned. So stop craving about your life, your studies, your hours. You are a few in millions with the gift of healing. You are the chosen one, you are a doctor. I sincerely believe that this is very, very true for all of us, and all of us follow that. But please keep this in your mind tomorrow when you are dealing with your patients or when you get into your practice. Again, wishing you all the very best in life. Stay healthy, stay safe. This, what we have started, is going to be an amazing journey for you, for me, and I really hope this helps a lot of you all somewhere in the future. This is what we are looking for. So, till the next time, thank you so much. Stay healthy, stay safe. God bless.